7 red flags that whenever you hear when you're trying to purchase a vehicle, rush away from that vehicle. In simpler words, if you're ever trying to purchase a vehicle and you hear one of these things I'll tell you in this video, rush away from that car, because I assure you that car will be a bad deal for you. If you're new to this channel, we talk about cars, the automobile sector and vehicles as a whole. We also talk about tooltips on how to, better take care of your car, on how to have better purchases when you're trying to purchase a car, and much more. So if you're new to this channel, kindly click on that subscribe button, like our video, and turn on the notification bell not to miss any of our future content. So let's get into it. The first thing you should rush away from, if you hear when you're trying to purchase a vehicle, is not having a clear documentation from the person trying to sell you the vehicle. Depending on the vehicle type you want to buy, whether it's a vehicle that is directly imported from Europe or it's a vehicle that is fairly used in Cameroon, there are documents that are actually supposed to be present if you're trying to purchase that vehicle. The first type of documents that always has to be there if you're trying to purchase a vehicle that is directly imported from Europe is always the custom document. Yeah, the custom document is like a default document, a document that must be present if you are trying to purchase a vehicle that is directly imported from Europe. So if you're trying to purchase a vehicle and the car seller or the person trying to sell you the vehicle doesn't actually mention this document or doesn't show you this document, this should be a red flag, something that you should take care of and that you should take note if you're trying to purchase that vehicle. Let's say you are trying to purchase a vehicle that has already been fairly used in Cameroon. Let's say you're trying to purchase something like an avant-system de caution, but that has already been used. Documents such as the categories, what they call the matriculation document, or documents even such as the custom documents because it has once been imported into your country, or documents such as what they call in French le document de non-gage, which is a document that actually tells about vehicle that it has not gone into trouble, into past issues, such as maybe a vehicle entering maybe into an accident or having some implications with theft. So this document de non-gage actually tells all of this. And if you're trying to purchase that vehicle of yours that you saw very beautiful online and it doesn't actually have documents such as these, you should know that that vehicle has serious troubles and you should rush away from it. The next type of red flag is a price that is too low. Yeah, a price that is too low. Let's say you are trying to purchase maybe a Santa Fe 2015 model or a Prado Land Cruiser or a vehicle of high caliber, an SUV for example, and you are hearing a price lower than, let's say, 5 million francs for example. You should know that that price is too good to be true, as we usually say. So a price that is too low is a price that should actually intrigue you. If you're trying to purchase a vehicle normally such as maybe a Carina E or maybe an avant-system de caution or other vehicles, simpler vehicles such as Avensis, these are vehicles that they can be below the mark of 5 million francs. But when you are trying to purchase a vehicle, an SUV, a high quality vehicle, or a luxury vehicle such as a Prado, such as a Santa Fe, a Hyundai Santa Fe as I earlier mentioned, these are vehicles that has to be above the mark. These are vehicles that just about 5% of the population can afford. So a price that is too low, that is told to you by the car seller, is something that you should take note of and that you should not rush into the trap. The next thing that you should take care of, the next red flag that whenever you hear you should rush away from that vehicle, is the car seller not wanting to have a professional car checkup. Yeah, a professional car checkup. We know normally before trying to purchase a vehicle, you need to come for the car checkup. You need maybe to take your mechanic with you, somebody that is well versed with vehicles, to be able to diagnose this car very well before you purchase it. So if you're trying to purchase a vehicle and the car seller is just pressurizing you that there is no need to have this type of checkups, this is actually something that you should look into. Before purchasing a car, always come with someone such as a mechanic that is well versed about vehicles to help you diagnose it. And if that car seller of yours, if the person trying to sell you that vehicle isn't actually d'accord with the fact that you do this professional checkup, you should know that this is a red flag that you should take care of. And if you hear it from somebody trying to sell you a vehicle, don't actually rush to that vehicle, because that vehicle can bring you into so many problems. The fourth point that you should take care of, and whenever you hear you should rush away from that car, is having a car background history that is not very clear. You know, whenever you're trying to purchase a vehicle, depending whether it's a vehicle that is directly imported from Europe or a second-handed used car in your countryside, there is actually something that the vehicle went through. Let's take, for example, a car that has been fairly used. You know, the car seller must come to you with the approach. You know, you fellow ask about the vehicle, know what the vehicle has been through, because I will assure you the type of things that the vehicle has been through also plays an important fact on the chances whether you should purchase that vehicle or not. So if you're trying to purchase a vehicle, let's say it's an Avensis or a Toyota Yaris that you want to use maybe for transportation use, and you maybe had just the budget to be able to purchase a second-handed vehicle, you should ask for what the car has been through. Things such as what is the past, who is the past user, what was the car used for before you're trying to purchase it. Information such as these are very important, and if the person trying to sell you the vehicle always changes the story, always changes what happens maybe with the vehicle all the time, you should know this is a red flag, because the person is just trying to sell you something that is not his, or something that has so many problems. The fifth and one of the most important things that you should take care of if you're trying to purchase a vehicle is, once you own the vehicle, you always see the dashboard lights on. You know, lights such as the engine signal, even the oil too. These are dashboard signals that you should take care of. And you should know that whenever you own the engine of a vehicle, and these dashboard signs such as the engine sign and the oil, the oil signaling, you should know this is something that can cause you so many troubles. You will not just own the vehicle for the first time and you start seeing these signs popping up. This means either the engine, the fuel tank, or the oil of the vehicle has so many problems that you should check before purchasing the vehicle. And this always happens during the professional checkout. That's why it's quite important to bring a mechanic whenever you're trying to purchase that vehicle of yours. That mechanic will actually help you diagnose all these problems that you might have not known. There are so many people that are trying to purchase the vehicles for their first time, for example, and they might not know even these points. Most of the facts, the dashboard doesn't even come on to show this popping light. This is something that can lead to so much problems, as in the case the dashboard even came on. Let's say the dashboard, you came to purchase the vehicle by your own self without actually contacting someone which is well versed about vehicles to help you do this. This dashboard light will have come on and you would have not even noticed. So it's very important when you're trying to purchase a vehicle to actually take care of the signs, and that will always start by bringing someone which is well versed about the sector to help you diagnose these problems that cost you a lot. The next point is when the car seller rushes you to pay for the vehicle. Good vehicles are not vehicles that are always pressurized on the people that want to buy. Good vehicles are good vehicles. If you're trying to purchase a vehicle and the person trying to sell you the car always tells you words such as come purchase fast, make the first deposit, if not you might not meet the vehicle in 2 to 3 days, no, you should take care of this type of statement, because as I earlier mentioned, good vehicles don't have to be pressured with. When you're trying to purchase a vehicle, take your time. Take your time actually even to ask fellow individuals that have already purchased vehicles, individuals that have purchased vehicles once in a while, that depend on this type of vehicle. Let's say you are a taxi driver and you want to do some taxi business. Take time to ask some other fellow taxi drivers about the fact that when you are trying to purchase the taxi, what was the current price that you were trying to purchase it at. Trying to ask your fellow taxi driver, their colleagues will actually save you a lot. because you will actually know the price that is on market. You also take time to inspect the vehicle, as earlier mentioned, do checkups, bring people with you that are well versed about vehicles to help you diagnose these problems, and take your time to purchase the vehicle. Don't just do the first payment or the payment at first instance. Take time, to check the vehicle, check the different compartments. The vehicle will run away. The vehicle will always be present for you. If you love this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell not to miss any of our future content. As a summary of this video, we talked about having a clear documentation. Also, not actually rushing to purchase the vehicle, as I earlier mentioned. Having a clear professional checkout. If the vehicle doesn't have a clear background history,